Hey folks, we're going to work on turning some basic MP5s into these killing machines here. There are a rather large number of attachment possibilities for this weapon, so rather than show every single one, we're going to focus on a low recoil build, a high ergonomics build, and a solid in-between, as well as go over the strengths and weaknesses of each ammo type to hopefully help you feel more comfortable in your future loadout choices. Starting with our low recoil build, you'll want to get an MP5 SD upper receiver, and then an MP5 SD polymer handguard. You've probably seen these in weapon crates in Raid and thought it was a suppressor and then been disappointed like I have, but maybe you'll start taking them out after this. An MP5 SD 9x19 silencer. And actually, I like to put this on all of my MP5s. So this is the HK low profile scope mount. This will just let you put any reflex sight of choice right on top. So we'll start by removing the old upper receiver. When you pull that up, you'll see most of the gun comes off. You can ignore this piece for now. Then we'll take off the buttstock and the drum. And we're actually not going to need the rest for now, so we'll set that aside. Put on the new upper suppressor, the handguard. You put the drum back on to help the sighting range out and get your stock back on. And we'll throw our profile mount on in the scope, and that's it. This thing's pretty much ready to go, except it can't actually take a laser or flashlight, so if you really want one on here, you want to add the tri-rail ring mount, the B&T. Click that on, boom. Pretty simple. You can put up to 3 devices on there. I highly recommend putting your first one on the bottom, which it defaults to, just so it's aligned with the barrel. The next one's even more straightforward for the high ergo build, since you don't have to swap out the upper. So for this, we use the CAA HX5 handguard. Now, I know this looks pretty funky. There's this weird top piece on, and you might be thinking what I thought when you first buy this, which is why? Because it looks like it's going to get in the way, but we'll show it in Raid in a minute. It actually does not get in the way. It's also got 4 tactical slots on it, and it has really good stats: 3 recoil, 13 ergo. Then we, for this one, we chose a Fortis Shift tactical grip, so 2% recoil and 11 ergo. If you want a slightly cheaper variant, though, you could get either of these guys. The Cobra Tactical would be only 1 recoil and 11 ergo, but it's a lot cheaper than the Fortis, so you're only losing 1 recoil there. And the SE5 Express Grip, you're losing 1 ergo there. So these are all fairly comparable. The Fortis is a bit more expensive, but it'll give you slightly better stats overall. So for modding, we'll just take off the old handguard, put on the new one, and you can slap the grip of your choice on there. Get your sight on. And for butt stocks, I actually bought the old one for this gun. Now the difference is pretty minimal. It's 1 recoil worse and 1 ergo better. So just for the sake of highest ergo, I bought it just to show. But honestly, the butt stock that the MP5 comes with is insanely good. 45% recoil and 5 ergo. So just as a quick field test, you can see the TX5 handguard doesn't actually get in the way like it seems like it would. And high ergo feels pretty nice. So we're actually just going to do a full-on spray with green tracers at the same panel, just as a quick recoil test. So cover your ears, it's a little loud. I'm not correcting with my hand at all. That's just as normal. And then right next to it, we'll do the low recoil build as well, just to kind of compare the groupings. Wow. This thing's a freaking laser beam. Interesting, yeah, so the high ergo one kind of kicked up and left a little, but then when it settled, its grouping is pretty good. It seems like the low recoil one's grouping is just good the whole time. This one right here is my favorite MP5, especially if you can go prone on anybody and you get the recoil reduction for that as well. Just kind of nuts. Again, I'm not correcting with my hand. It's a complete laser beam. Holy crap.
Good one.
For the all-rounder build, we bought the PTR Tri-Rail MP5 handguard. This one's got a couple less recoil and a couple less ergo than the last one, but it costs about half as much, so I just did it to keep the cost down. But if you really want max stats, instead of the Tri-Rail, let's go back and get the one from the previous gun, which is the HX5. Then we picked up an RK1 foregrip to have kind of a balance of stats here. It's got 4 recoil and 7 ergo. This one's a little expensive. If you want a slightly cheaper option, Actually, it's quite a bit cheaper. The RVG Black costs about half as much. You lose one recoil there. You also have the choice of the RK2, which will give you the most possible recoil benefit, but not a lot of ergo. So overall, the RK1 was the most balanced choice. Then we picked up a 3-lug threaded protector, because on this one, if you want to get a different suppressor on, besides the MP5 SD one, then you have to have a different thread protector. And then of course we use the Osprey 9x19 sound suppressor. This one's actually not bad. It gives you 6 recoil benefit as well. It's decently cheap. And then we have the same scope setup. So for modding, same deal. We'll take off the old handguard, throw on the new one, throw on the sight, and then we want to pull off the old relug compensator, put on the new threaded one so you can get an Osprey on there. For ammo, the PST GZH from Mechanic appears to be the best option for brand new players, as it's available from level 1 and has 18 armor penetration with 54 flesh damage. I would highly recommend picking up the AP 6.3 ammo at the top of the chart as soon as you can afford to do so, as the 25 armor penetration is enough to rip through level 3 armor, which includes many of the face shields, and still hits for 52 damage. Here's a quick clip of the 6.3 ammo ripping through a full durability Untar armor from one of Rashala's guards. As you can see, his armor is completely gone in just a few hits. It'll also make it through a fast MT face shield in just a couple hits, which is pretty doable with the high fire rate. Now, if you really want to go the flesh damage route, the Luger CCIs and RIP ammo both do insane flesh damage, but have virtually no armor penetration, so you'll basically be aiming for the face or for the legs if your target has a face shield of any kind. Speaking of aiming for the face, Scav Raiders and bosses have 50 hit points on their head, which means a face tap with literally any 9x19 ammo would be enough to one-shot them, assuming they don't have a face shield on. Lastly, the green tracer ammo can be kind of fun at night just to see the green streaks in the sky, but generally speaking its stats are pretty low compared to the other options. The MP5 is one of my favorite weapons to use in Escape from Tarkov, and you'll see me using it a whole lot on Factory. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for future videos, and I'm always happy to see more of you drop by the live stream, so I'll leave a link for that in the description. Thank you for watching and good luck in your MP5 raids.